Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. Today is Valentine's Day, the stupidest holiday ever invented by man, where presently legions of men are in grocery stores buying sappy cards that make them want to barf, or buying flowers that are going to die in a week, to make their girls and wives happy. And it happens every year. And I'm using today's magical holiday as an opportunity to share with you guys one of my very early R-pill experiences that happened 30 years ago on Valentine's Day. For whatever reason today I thought of this. I haven't thought about this story in decades, and it really taught me early on some key things about female nature. And what are they? Well, number one, just how competitive girls or women can be with each other. It's crazy. Two, how much they love to show off. And three, mixing that all together, attention and validation. Things you hear about quite often on this channel that come up all the time. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, like I said, going back in time 30 years ago on Valentine's Day, I was 18 years old. At the time, I was dating a gal that she was my girlfriend at that point. We've been dating 2 or 3 months. And I can say this today, and I mean this absolutely. She was probably right up there, one of the coolest girlfriends I ever had. Seriously. She was above so many. Right at the top. I'd love to know what she's doing today. And so what happened about this whole thing says something just about the female nature. So in my high school, and maybe they did this in your high school, they did things for holidays and all that, dances and that type of stuff. And for Valentine's Day, they had this thing where you could purchase carnations. $1 carnations for like your girlfriend or whatever, and red carnations symbolizing love, white carnations symbolizing friendship. And as you can imagine, overwhelmingly the girls sent them to each other, but guys would buy them for their girlfriends. So it'd be like $1 for a red carnation, and they would be delivered to the homeroom prior to school. For you guys that are overseas, homeroom, and at least back when I was a kid, was you get to school, high school, first class is at 8:45, your ass is in homeroom at 8:30, parking your butts there, and assembling for the day. In homeroom, you get delivered those carnations. Okay, now you know what the setting here. Well, I had my girlfriend. I knew Valentine's Day was coming up, but I figured she's cool, we're having a good time. I'm going to do something better than those stupid carnations, because they're crap. They're $1 a piece. So what I did was, and you're going to laugh at this, I bought her, I believe, in advance, the day before, either half a dozen roses or a dozen roses. I know it makes you want to barf, but I told you I was a different guy back then, because she was cool, and I figured that's just what you're supposed to do. This is 30 years ago. So anyhow, I figured I'm going to give it to her after school, in the privacy of her home, and her mom and dad and sisters might see it, but that's it. I don't like making public spectacles, even back then. And so I'm not going to buy these carnation thingamabobbers. Little did I learn, this is the biggest mistake I could make, because women like to show off. So Valentine's Day arrives, and I get to my homeroom that morning, and I remember this shit like it was yesterday, and lo and behold, people are handing out carnations that were delivered to them from girlfriends and friends. And there on my desk is 2 red carnations from the girlfriend. And, saying to me, and she loves me, blah, blah, blah. That was very nice. Still, it didn't click with me. She's in her homeroom right now, and she doesn't have any flowers, carnations. Even though they're crappy $1 carnations, she doesn't have them. But all her friends probably have them one form or another. But again, in my male mind, my male logic, I'm thinking, well, who cares? Because when she gets home from school, she's going to have half a dozen roses and a dozen roses. So I'm doing the right thing here. Well, later on in the day, eventually I run into her, and she's pretty upset. I can't understand why. And she was a cool girl, but she was human. And basically, she let me know that she was pretty upset and sad because, she got to homeroom and her boyfriend, who she sent carnations to, I might add, didn't give her any. In my male mind, wait a second here. So I then explained. I said, well, I wanted to surprise you because at home, I have a surprise for you. Do you think that mattered very much? No. Now, she was a cool girl. She didn't cry or yell or any ridiculous drama that other gals would have done back then. Guaranteed. Human nature's human nature back then. But she was upset. And oh yeah, she also gave me some gifts. She actually brought into school like some presents for like Valentine's Day. She's a cool girl. And it was like, oh, I feel stupid. But I didn't get the problem then. I got it eventually. Was it really about me? We've been only dating a couple months. No. It was about that all the other girls around the school were getting those damn flowers, those cheap-ass carnations, and they could walk around with them and show them off. And obviously, you know, like the more you got, obviously, the bigger deal it was. And my girlfriend at the time didn't have any. And she could probably feel maybe like maybe she thought I didn't care, which that was crazy because I did care. And I certainly surprised her later. But the point was, it was about the competition. Other girls having it. Of course, you want to walk around with your flowers because you got a boyfriend, and ha 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 to the other girls that don't have boyfriends. And even better yet, the more shit your boyfriend got you, like more of those carnations, competition, showing off, and the attention and validation. Now, school was over, and that day I remembered, and I remember going to her house, and here I come with a dozen roses, or half dozen. I can't remember what it was. And I want to point out to you guys, in 1996, you know, I was working part-time as a host at a popular chain restaurant. And that was a lot of money for me back then. It's not like I had to pay rent or anything or buy my own food, but it still was. And I did it because she was really cool. She was an awesome girl. But guess what? And she appreciated that. She then realized, you know, she was cool enough to remember, to understand my male logic at the time and not getting it. But she appreciated that. And that was that. That was the end of it. No big deal. But I guarantee you that if I ran into her today, 30 years later, I guarantee you she'd remember that. You know? And I mean, I haven't thought about this in years because why would I? But that was one of my very early R-pill moments. Again, coming back to the fact that it wasn't about the stupid cheap-ass $1 carnations. It wasn't about that. It was about all the other girls got it. Competition. They all, you get what I'm saying here? They're so competitive with each other. And they start young, and it continues on in life. Also, showing off. How many times it's about the showing off. And, of course, the attention and validation from that. How many women out there want, when they want to be proposed to, how many out there want a big public spectacle? They want the guy to do it in public. I'm not talking at like a fucking baseball game or something like that, but usually something in public with a whole spectacle and all that. And better yet, if a friend could be nearby to record this thing, and then can be put up on TikTok, Instagram, maybe YouTube, I don't know what, Facebook, for everybody to see. Attention and validation. Meanwhile, your average guy, I guarantee you, would prefer privacy, left alone. So this, my friends, is how different we are, okay? And like I said, had I known, I would have bought the damn fucking carnations. Because, again, she was a cool girl. Throughout my life, I've dated and had a relationship with crazy bitches and some great girls. And she was one of the top ones. So, of course, because she was a cool girl, had I known, you know, I would have bought the stupid carnations for $2. And so she could walk around and show them off in school. There ain't no way back then, even the nice guy was back then, was I going to drag fucking 6 big-ass long-stem roses or 12, whatever it was I bought back then, into school. I wasn't going to be that jackass. Even then, I was a nice guy then. Had I done that, then she would have loved that, because she'd be the girl walking around with a bunch of giant long-ass fucking roses instead of stupid-ass, cheap-ass carnations. That would have been the ultimate thing, because, again, was it about me? No. It was about showing off, competition, and the attention about, well, look what she has. Oh, my God. So, guys, there you go. It's a quick story, but the point about this whole thing is, so for you guys out there that are relationship guys, or you're married, and you wonder why your wife talks about at work and how happy she might be or her friends are when they get flowers and shit for their birthday or Valentine's Day. That's why. And that's also why, and this does happen, that some will send themselves flowers or balloons or God knows what to their office for a big public spectacle. How dumb is that? Sending yourself fucking flowers for Valentine's Day. It happens. I bet you some guy watching this right now knows somebody that's done that. Or your girlfriend or wife has a friend who's done that and quietly told you that. Why? competition, attention and validation. And that theme of competition, showing off, attention, validation pops up all the time in my stories. You know that. So anyhow, guys, that wasn't the earliest R-pill moment, but that was one of the big ones. R-pill, female nature, and that's a lesson that carried with me my whole life. And I got to tell you guys, I got plenty more of them. So anyhow, there you go. And if, by the way, if you want to hear more stories about different moments in my life, I got plenty of them when I was a kid. So how I learned, of course, the hard way in these type of things. So anyhow, guys, survive the rest of this ridiculous holiday. For you bachelors out there, you're just kicking back and laughing at your friends. They're spending all this money on bullshit. But nevertheless, there you go. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know, guys, what were some of your early experiences? Did you have any Valentine's Day revelations when you were young? I'd like to hear about it. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.